his success. It can be her success was overshadowed by his success, or she was overshadowed by him. But you cannot say the person was overshadowed by somebody's success. Wrong comparison. C says later overshadowed by the success of her husband, Elizabeth Barrett Browning's poetry. So poetry cannot be comparable to somebody's success. Wrong comparison. D is almost correct. It says Elizabeth Barrett Browning's success was overshadowed by that of her husband. So that of her husband would refer to success. And among her contemporaries, she was considered the better poet. So there is nothing wrong. D is the right answer. But the problem in E is Elizabeth Barrett Browning's poetry was considered among her contemporaries as better than her husband. How can the poetry be better than her husband? Wrong comparison. Second part is fine. Her success was overshadowed by his. His means his success. But the first part is wrong. How can poetry be comparable to her husband? So out of all the options, it is only option D which is having no error, and option D is the right answer. If anyone has a doubt, you may ask. No one has any doubt? All right then. So we move to question number 40. If anyone has tried it, you may type your answer. So the strategy here is we are comparing citing with citing. If you say in, that is referring to the citing. So citing should be comparable to citing, which is given in option C, in its return. The in refers to the citing part. If we do not put the in, then it will refer to the return part, and that would make it a wrong comparison. If you see D, if you see A, there is no in, so we are comparing citing with return, which is a wrong comparison. If you look at B, again it has its return, which means we are comparing citing with return, which is a wrong comparison. It's the same in D, its return, and even in E, its return. Citing cannot be comparable with return. The only option which is comparing citing with citing is option C, because of the presence of the word in. And out of all the options, the right answer is C for Charlie. If anyone has a doubt, you may ask. No doubts. So I guess we have covered all the sentences, and now we can go to the reading part. So if you have not done the reading part, I will give you some time to read. This is the first passage of today. If anyone has not done it, you can do it right now, but I can only give you 5 minutes. So it's 7:28. You can add 5 minutes to that. 7:33. We start the discussion. So anyone who may not have done it, you can read the passage. We will start at 7:33. Yes, I hope you all have. I gave you a bit of extra time there. I hope you all have done the passage by now. What answer did you all get? So you may start typing. It can be inferred from the passage that a large plant might have to spend more than a similar but smaller plant on environmental compliance because the larger plant is dash. What answer did you get? Anyone? Option B, yes, is the right answer. That's right. There is no saying that they are likely to attract attention. We do not have that. Less likely to have regulatory costs passed is also not mentioned in the passage. More likely to employ older, not necessarily. More likely to generate waste, not necessarily. So the right answer is Bravo. Less likely to be exempt. Why? Because it is written here. So the myth is that the environmental regulations affect all equally. That is the myth. Myth is like a wrong fact that the environmental regulations affect all the things in a uniform way, but the reality is it does not affect. In reality, regulatory costs and therefore compliance fall unevenly, economically disadvantaging some and benefiting others. So if you see here, a plant which is situated near a number of larger non-compliant competitors is less likely to attract the attention of local regulators than is an isolated plant. And additionally, large plants can spread compliance costs such as waste treatment across larger revenue base. And then it's written, so large plants can spread the compliance costs than the smaller plants, and some smaller plants, yeah, this is where you have to infer it. It's written some smaller plants may not even be subject to certain provisions such as permit or reporting requirements by virtue of their size. So if it is written small plants may not be subject to certain regulations and provisions, that automatically means the larger plants cannot escape. They have to pay, which is exactly what B is saying. So the large, because the question was about the large plant, so the large plant is less likely to be exempt from the permit and reporting requirements. It is indirectly given in line number 15, 16, 17. So correct. B is the right answer. We move to the next question of this passage. What answer will you select?